Namaskar. Good morning to all of you present here today. This is assembly to discuss Maritime Financing Summit 2025. It's a very interesting subject. I think you being the experienced player in your respective field of profession, I need not have to mention or reiterate about the significance of the role of financial institution in driving the vision of our noble Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And that vision is very clear. By 2047, we are to become the developed nation, self-reliant India, आत्मनिर्भर भारत. उसी लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं. तो इसलिए मैं आप सबको हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं, शुभकामना देता हूं. शुभकामना ले लीजिए ना. Anyway, respected Shantanu Thakur ji, the Honorable Minister of State in the Ministry of Port, Shipping, Waterways, and Secretary of Ministry of Port, Shipping, Waterways, T.K. Ramachandran ji, Special Secretary Rajesh Kumar Sinha ji, Joint Secretary R. Lasmanan ji, और हमारे Joint Secretary Venkateswar Pati ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I believe with your active participation and this particular brainstorming session will create a lot of optimism as well as help us to develop our roadmap for the future course of action. And I'm here especially with this high hope of expectation. And I believe you will definitely fulfill it and will make this event a very, very meaningful and productive one for India's growth of our economy, and particularly we being from the maritime sector. India as a maritime nation wants to be the leading maritime nation across the world. So we are to compete among the best of the best. That is very clear. So to register our superlative ability and action, we'll have to do something extra. With that speed and scale, Honorable Prime Minister has always been saying that whatever we do, we always keep in your mind the speed of the action and scale, the standard of action. And that is why he started as a Prime Minister since 2014. Let us reform, perform and transform. With this principle, we have started the journey under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And because of his dedicated effort and effective policy program initiative and quality implementation with good governance, now India is shining across the world. Now we could able to position our status as the fourth largest economy in the world. In the next 5 years' time, we are going to become the third largest economy in the world. So I believe to achieve that goal, every parameters and every sector will have to rise to the occasion. And that is why we, being the Ministry of Port, Shipping, Waterways, in the last 10 years' time, whatever we did, it is really something exemplary. Honorable Prime Minister's vision was so accurate, so perfect, which has ultimately helped us to develop our port operation and port quality and facility all kind of, vertical which has been well developed. As a result, now we are creating success story every day. Now, among the top 100 ports in the world, we could able to, occupy the 9th position. In the container handling, I believe we are among the top 20. So, I believe this is the success story. We are to glorify it, because let us make the young generation aware about this kind of exciting happening, this kind of success story, which can inspire them to take up the challenges very positively for future course of action in this particular sector. And we have to motivate them. We have to make this sector so attractive, so kind of, people-centric, that tomorrow common people can also realize, oh, this is our sector, because we have a direct relation with the producers, farmers, MSME sectors, manufacturers, because whatever quality goods we create here, we produce here, it creates demand across the global market. Now we have to transport it. So we being the largest transporter, it is our sole responsibility to handle all this EXIM cargo, coastal shipping, and inland waterways, and also coastal cruise, ocean cruise, and river cruise. In all these sectors, we have a big role to play. So that is why in the last 10 years' time, whatever we did, you have all seen it, and also people now developing their close association with this ministry day by day. Because in the Sagarmala program, there is one vertical, that is coastal community development. Among the 5 major verticals, the first one, port modernization, mechanization, digitization, all, innovative idea to be incorporated so that port operation quality can go up and make it a world class. And all the transporter, whether it is in the export or import, they feel at home, ease of doing business, ease of understanding, the whole system now making in such a manner that it is very much close to the heart of the every stakeholders. And I believe with that particular initiative, the Sagarmala program could able to create a lot of opportunities and lot of facilities, which has ultimately could able to draw the attention of the, the global investors, foreign investors. And as a result, among the 12 major port, one major we could able to register as a landlord port. This is JNPA. So, and also we could able to achieve the point of saturation by enhancing the container handling up to 10 million. 10 million? Yeah, 10 million TEUs. So this is the way. Now we are growing. Now the new big ports coming up. Vadavan, the capacity of cargo handling, it will give 300 million metric ton. 23.2 million TEUs alone in the Vadavan port. That port is going to create port city, port-led industrialization. All kind of, required amenities and facilities around the ports will be developed in such a manner that it will govern the global cargo handling. I have a few written line. Please bear with me. मैं पढ़ूंगा अभी. मैं पढ़ने में ठीक नहीं हूं. आपको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. तो भी थोड़ा समय आप निकालिएगा. Anyway, we have the presence of many leading stakeholders here. So from financial institutions like HUTCO, IIFCL, then NEO, and
then climate fund managers, and also representative from the other financial institutions like, World Bank, ADB, JICA, and others. Then we have State Maritime Boards from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Odisha. And then we have representative from 10 maritime nations. And we have the head of financial fin countries and domains, Sogli and Swan. And we have the representative from CMA, CGM, St. Maritimes, and BEML, and also classification societies like DNV, Lloyd's Register, IRS, etc., etc. And I sincerely welcome all of you here today, and I welcome all participants today at this Maritime Financing Summit 2025, a platform that marks a new chapter in India's financial maritime journey. The maritime sector is not just an enabler of trade. It is a pillar of economic growth, a strategic strength, and supply chain resilience. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, this government has prioritized maritime growth through bold policy reforms, targeted investment, and a strong push for modernization. India's economy continues to thrive and has emerged as the fourth largest economy globally, surpassing Japan by crossing the US $4 trillion mark. We are first on our way to become the third largest economy nation. Moreover, rising foreign investment and a skilled workforce are positioning the country as a preferred maritime hub. India's maritime sector is witnessing an unprecedented transformation, positioning itself as a global leader in port infrastructure, shipping, and trade competitiveness. With our three-pronged approach of reform, perform, transform, our growth story has been one of the incredible success and remarkable achievement. Today, our vessel turnaround time has reduced from 4 days to less than 1 day. This must be specially recorded in our mind. From 4 days to 1 day. And it is much better than advanced nations such as Canada, Australia, USA, and Germany. So this gives us a lot of encouragement. Containerized cargo handled by major ports show a remarkable 70% increase over the decades, growing from 7.9 million TEUs in 2014 to 13.5 million TEUs last year. India today is the fifth largest seafaring nation, contributing to about 15% globally, going from 1.08 lakhs seafarers to over 3.2 lakhs now, an increase of 200% in the contribution of seafarers. Our cargo handling capacity more than doubled in the last decades from 1,400 million metric ton per annum to 2,762 million metric ton per annum. Our sea cruise tourism grew by about 500% from 84,000 passengers in 2014. That was 2014, it was limited to 84,000 passengers. Now it went up to 5 lakhs per year. एक हत्तली तो हो जाए ना. इतना बड़ा सफलता आप लोगों के सहयोग के वजह से संभव हुई है। ये सिर्फ मंत्रालय अकेला नहीं किया है, हम जनताओं का भी सहयोग है, आप लोगों का सहयोग है, आप लोगों का इन्वेस्टमेंट है। कितनी बड़ी योगदान है देश के लिए, हम ये योगदान देते हुए हम गर्व महसूस करते हैं। Our coastal shipping cargo has doubled from 87 million metric ton in 2014 to 165 million metric ton now. That is the difference of growth. Our inland water transport cargo movement grew by over 700% since 2014 from 18 million metric ton, 18 in 2014. Now, because of the modernization and corrective policy measures, it went up to 146 million metric ton, 700% growth. Our government, keen to enhance efficiency, has actively promoted public-private partnership, increasing investment by 3.5 times and boosting cargo handling by over 60% in major ports. Our Harit Sagar Green Port Guidelines is a testament to our emphasis on sustainability and green growth. As you know, Honorable Prime Ministers that launched National Hydrogen Mission to develop our green transport to achieve our blue economy. To further facilitate investment, we have launched the Maritime Development Fund offering financial assistance to India's maritime sector. The One Nation, One Port process initiative aimed at standardizing and streamlining operation across major ports is crucial in removing inconsistencies to reduce cost and delay. While our journey so far has been exceptional, our path forward is aspirational. In the next 20 years, India's port handling capacity would have gone over 3 times to 10,000 million metric ton per annum, with 13 deep draft mega port, 14 port based green hydrogen hub, and we would be ranked among the top 5 shipbuilding nation globally. India's maritime sector is undergoing a transformative shift. Backed by strong policy and financial support from the government, India offers immense investment opportunities in the maritime sector. With 100% foreign direct investment permitted in shipping under the automatic route, global investors have seamless access to India's growing maritime landscape. International Financial Services Center, IFSC, at Gift City offers substantial tax benefit and financial incentive, strengthening the maritime value chain. Additionally, India has introduced simplified custom clearance mechanism to eliminate bottleneck, enhance cargo handling efficiency, and make trade operation smoother and more transparent, further cementing the country's status as a global maritime hub. Alongside this initiative, India is on a bold mission to transform its port into global investment hub, leveraging public-private partnership and green energy integration. Our ports are not just gateway to trade. They are becoming catalysts of clean energy transition, supporting offshore wind, green hydrogen, and low carbon logistics. With investor-friendly policies, seamless connectivity, and a thriving maritime ecosystem, India's ports stand as engine of growth and sustainability for the world. Our Sagarmala program is a transformational initiative accelerating port-led economic growth, attracting global investment, and enhancing multimodal connectivity. Shipbuilding is highly geographically concentrated, with 3 countries contributing over 90% of global shipbuilding output. This makes shipbuilding and availability of ship at a global level susceptible to regional shock. Shipbuilding is the backbone of resilient maritime economy, and India is rapidly emerging as a global powerhouse in shipbuilding, ship repair, and ship recycling. The government progressive reforms ranging from Maritime Development Fund to the establishment of dedicated shipbuilding cluster are creating an unparalleled investment climate. Global shipbuilding leaders have expressed interest and are exploring the possibility to invest in the expansion of Indian shipyard. We are aiming to position India among the top 5 shipbuilding nations globally by the time we celebrate 100 years of our independence. इसका मतलब है by 2047 we are going to become one of the top 5 shipbuilding nations. This includes leveraging greenfield, brownfield expansion, promoting shipbuilding cluster, and introducing policy incentive to drive growth. In this case, I am especially thankful to the coastal states of the country. Because of their support, we are going to create cluster for shipbuilding and also the ecosystem for the manufacture of the parts and equipments for the shipbuilding. India offers immense investment opportunities in the maritime sector, with 100 foreign direct investment now permitted in shipping under the automatic route. Global investors have seamless access to India's growing maritime landscape. In today's global economy, capital flows shape the world. Countries that have built strong maritime finance ecosystem have unlocked growth across ports, shipping, and shipbuilding. India is ready to join that league. Now India is joining. Access to easy and affordable financing is key to the growth of our maritime sector. The government is committed to creating a supportive environment through various policy measures that make it easier to invest, innovate, and grow. These efforts aim to build a strong, competitive, sustainable maritime economy. I encourage all the stakeholders to come together, share ideas, work jointly towards improving access to finance and making our sector more efficient and future ready. On behalf of the Government of India, I thank you for your presence and your commitment. And in this matter, I would like to also highlight about the available opportunity that we have created in the Indian waterways. Because after the success story of MV Ganga Vilas, that created history in the world river cruise. India is the first country in the world of river cruise that created history by crossing more than 17 river system. We could able to cross 3,200 kilometers from Banaras to Dibrugarh through Bangladesh protocol route. So ultimately, and that too, we have carried the 32 Swiss passengers, isn't it? Switzerland. So this has given a lot of boost for the other stakeholders also to invest in the inland waterways. That means inland waterways has enough potentialities. Simply we have to explore it. And to explore it, we have to put our effort. And the rest of the facility, it is our responsibility. Whether it is jetty, terminal, all kind of ecosystem, this is the government responsibility to develop. But rest is yours, private players. Most welcome and join hands in the inland waterways. Whether it is Harit Nauka, we are going to make green transitions of more than 1,000 vessels in the next 5 years' time. So in this sector also, we are going to invest more than 45,000 crores to meet all the kind of objective that has been set by our ministry to develop the inland waterways across the country. So I believe this will give lot of opportunity for you all. Please come forward, and you will be happy to know there is one leading German company, Renas Logistic Private Limited. They came, they have verified whatever report we have submitted, but they did it within their own resources. Physically, they have inspected the 3 important national waterways. National Waterways 1, National Waterways 2, National Waterways 16. And after going through 3 months, going to the ground and making the investigation and inspection, whatever is required to get the proper feasibility reports of operation of their barges in this particular important 3 national waterways. They found it feasible, and they have signed an agreement with us. From next year onwards, they are going to put more than how many vessels? 100 vessels? 100 vessels. 100 vessels with barges. Some barges will be 150 meters, some barges 50 meters, some barges 40 meters. So this is how the leading German company Renas have come forward and expressed their willingness to operate in this particular 3 important national waterways. So this makes the position very clear that Indian river system can give you a lot of opportunity to generate income and also create opportunity. And I believe you are all smart players in this field and very much knowledgeable, very much successful, and I believe you'll definitely come forward to join hand with us. And Ministry of Port Shipping Waterways always. Yeah, there is one more point. Urban water metro, the way we have been successfully operating in Cochin. If somebody wants to go and see how it is operated successfully, then you will discover the truth. So I believe we are also giving an offer to all of you. Please come, join hand to operate this urban water metro in most of the, I think we have identified how many city, 29 location? 32 city we have identified, and in that particular area, whatever opportunities are there, feasibilities there, please come and make yourself investigated and develop your willingness to join hand with us for the improvement of this particular urban water transport. And I believe you will be happy to be a part of its journey. And with these few words, I am really thankful to all of you here. And I hope that this particular session will be very much meaningful, and particularly under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, whatever kind of scope and whatever this thing has been created for us, space has been created for us to put our devoted effort, committed effort. I believe if we all join hand to each other and work together, I believe sky is better limit. Thank you. Jai Hind.